To start our exercise, we create a new project, new project. Now we adjust the resolution and project scale for our exercise example. Metigo map was especially designed for true-to-scale mapping in the section of restoration. The program expects you to apply a true-to-scale rectification, because there is an always ongoing calculation of areas, quantity and length of cracks in the background, so later on you have a quantification of your object available at all times. We name our project and accept the settings. OK. On the left you see the project tree. On the node image layer you can load already rectified images. On the node drawing you can load CAD drawings you have on hand. To rectify our own image, we switch to the register card rectification, original images, right-click and load image. In the folder Mapping Training that is at your disposal for exercises, you've been given in the folder Image Rectification several image examples. We start with painting rectangle and load our image. In the following window you have to decide on the rectification type: rectification with rectangle, parallel line, distance net or rotation and scaling. For this example we choose rectangle rectification. For the rectangle rectification we select the rectangle tool to measure the 4 edges of our assumed rectangle. And enter the measurements afterwards on the right. They're written on the top left corner of our image. The thumbnail updated itself and the software listed the approximate resolution and size of your picture. If user-defined, you can adjust the settings to your needs. We enter a new scale, 1:3. Click on rectification. The program saves the rectified image in a new TIFF file. With show result, we are given the rectified image, in which we now can use measure control lines to check for errors in the rectification. Next, transfer to map. The rectification is now integrated into the project folder and inserted automatically in the paper area. We select Layout, Paper Area. Here we can set the size of our paper area. With the function Adjust Automatically, you are shown the actual size in the picture in centimeter according to the project scale. And next we choose a paper size for our mapping project. OK. Over Layout Frame, you can define a frame and the distance to the paper area. Activate Display Frame. OK. In order to start our mapping, we switch to the register card mapping and open the class management to create our new mapping classes. We click on Create Now, name our class, select the mapping type. We differentiate between area mapping, dimensioning, document classes, image signatures, line mapping and vector signatures. Choose the color of the hatching, the background color and the opacity. Apply. In the mapping tree we can now select our mapping class and draw with the drawing tool several mapping areas. When you once have completed a mapping project with this software, you can load the mapping classes of these previous projects in your current work. Return to the class management with mapping template. You select in the folder mapping training, project wall painting. Here we can choose out of a selection of an older project, mapping classes and groups for our new project, and import them. Now you have listed the applied classes, also here in the project trees. By using the group management, you can sort your mapping classes topic related. Click on the picture, right mouse click, and insert to groups, and assign it to all groups. And can now switch freely between the groups. You can use the drawing tools to create mapping areas, change the mapping class, polygon tool, green line. You can also combine multiple drawing tools by the use of the tabulator button. Close the area with right mouse click. The drawn areas are vector elements. If you activate edges, you can correct individual points and change the outline. Right mouse click into the context menu. You can copy or move altogether areas in other classes. Select another class, apply. In our mapping project, we can also work with different images. We switch back to rectification and load another image. In our case, an UV light image. Choose the rectification type. Again, we measure the rectangle for our rectification. Enter the measurements for the width and height of our painting. Choose our scale, 1 to 3, and start the rectification. In the chart you are shown the quality of your picture and its actual size in centimeter and pixel. The new picture is saved in your TIFF file too and can be integrated in your project if you are satisfied with the result. Show result. We check for errors with control lines and transfer to map. If we look now on the project tree on the node image layer, we have listed our 2 rectified images. Since they were rectified with the same rectangle, they lay nearly exact one above the other. You can still move the picture within the paper area, correct it by using the tool Move element, and move the image step by step with the arrow keys. If we want to use the second image in our mapping, we can integrate it in the group management. We'll switch to mapping, open the group management, select an already created mapping group, click on copy group, and name it accordingly to our UV light image. On the register card image layers, we switch the daylight photo with the UV light image and apply the changes. Now we can switch between the groups belonging to the daylight image and those belonging to the ultraviolet image. Meaning we draw areas in the ultraviolet image and can now compare these registered areas with the daylight image. With the function createGroupBoundLegend, we can generate a legend where all classes of said group are listed automatically. Our legend appears in the paper area and in the mapping tree. On the right you can adjust the settings. Over the context menu you add column breaks and divide the legend in multiple columns. In the register card dialog format you can add more entries, number of mapping areas, total mapping area. Here you see the current quantity of our mapping. If you want to compare your mapping areas to one another, you can employ the function mass selection to calculate the percentage within your mapping group. Sum of all mapping areas equals 100%, and you see in this column the distribution within the mapping group. This way you can compare damages or materials within one object. The function massObject lists you the total area of one class in comparison to the total area of your object. Therefore we open the class management, create a new class, total area, return to group all, determine the total area of our object, close the area with right mouse click. Here you've been given the total area of a mapping area object. We select the class total area. Okay. Return to our group and are now shown proportion to the total object area. If you continue your mapping, you'll see that the legend is automatically updated. In your legend you have always shown the current quantity of your mapping. You can also work with annotation classes. We open the class management and create a new class annotation. And select the type annotation. Select the annotation tool and enter a text. You can edit the text later on, alter the font size, apply a frame, and can anchor an arrow to the frame to mark certain spots in the image. You can move the text. You can use the text also as mapping signature. Add a frame. Right mouse click in the context menu, copy elements, and use it as mapping element. We go to the class management and alter the color and line width and see the mapping signature clearly. You are also able to integrate detail photos. Return to the class management, create a new class, detail photo, with the type document class, apply. We expand the paper size, and can now insert enlarged, not to scale, detail photos. Therefore, we'll use our detail photo. We can select our desired detail by altering the frame. And can change the size of our detail image later on. And mark it with an arrow. To print your project, you select your printer or decide on PDF format, adjust paper size, decide on the paper orientation, high or cross. You can now print the whole project or mark a certain sector, adjust it to scale and print the sub-area. You can alter the opacity of the image or print it in our grayscale. And now start the printing to gain the PDF file.